How much of an airhead are you there? After all this work trying to get you to notice that your husband has been cheating on you, yet you still are not noticing a bit of it. Are you a failure of a woman or something?
Who is it that I'm speaking to right now? I believe that you have the wrong person right now.
I do have the right person, though. I have been going out with your husband for the past year now. And today, I wanted to talk with you, his wife, about it, and tell you what's been going on.
You're telling me that for a year now you've been with my husband?
If that's your response, then you really had no clue about it, did you? Hadn't you noticed a year ago that your husband was having to work a lot more? And more recently, he's been having to take a lot of business trips and such, right? Well, all of that was a lie. He was lying to you about that, calling it all work when he was really coming over to my house.
Excuse me?
This is it. This right here. This is the kind of reaction that I was wanting to get out of you.
Can you tell me what the hell your plan is here, though? For a woman who says she's been with my husband this whole time, to come out and say all of that with such confidence.
Well, this is the most entertaining way for me to get the news across to you. And seeing how long it would take for you to figure things out, or rather not figure things out, at all about us was also a thrill. Yet for some reason, you really didn't notice a single thing about what your husband and I had been doing, which got really boring really quickly. Having to love a man when the thrills started to really die out wasn't fun for me at all, you know? And that's why this time I decided it was time to tell you.
Huh?
I had been purposefully dropping an earring or two in his car, as well as things like some cosmetics of mine. And I made sure that he didn't do anything to try and hide all those things from you, yet you still weren't catching on. I wanted to date your husband having the knowledge that his wife knew about it the whole time.
I see. You have the type of character that I don't seem to understand one bit.
So, how are you feeling now after that newsflash, huh? You must be pretty sad to hear that the husband you love so much was cheating on you, right? Or are you heartbroken right now being a woman whose husband wanted to cheat on her? Could you be as pale as a ghost right now because of the panic I've induced?
About how I'm feeling, all I can say is I'm tired of having to listen to someone like you right now.
Huh?
I feel sorry for the man who thought it was a good idea to date such a childish woman as yourself. If he was going to cheat, at least do it with a smarter and more mature woman than you. If you really enjoy things that give you a thrill, maybe do something more invigorating like a bungee jump or skydiving. I think those things will bring you a lot more excitement without having to pay as much for them.
Huh?
And by the way, having to lay your hands on another woman's man to feel a thrill is a bit sad. Aren't you a bit exhausted after all that time you spent having to be with another woman's man? It's like you have some kind of sickness if that's the kind of route you were willing to take for joy. I'd hurry up and see a doctor about that mental problem you have. Actually, one of my close friends happens to be a therapist. If you'd like me to, I can introduce you to her and see what she can do to help.
Well, what the hell is all this? What's wrong with you? You were just told about how your husband has been cheating on you with me this whole time. There's no way you should be trying to console me over all of this now. How can you be so calm at a time like this anyway? And what makes you think you can make fun of my mental health like that?
I was never making fun of your mental health. I just happen to be a bit worried about the kind of person you are. I really do believe that you should be taking that issue you have seriously and see someone about it immediately.
I am not going to be treated like some sick person. What the actual hell is this? This isn't the kind of reaction I thought I'd be getting from you at all. I wanted to see you crying over this or getting all worked up over what I had to tell you. But now I'm the one feeling all worked up and disgusted by the kind of person you are.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'm sorry about that. But I'm not really into hobbies like cheating on other people and making others upset. You came out trying to have another thrilling time, but ended up feeling sick now.
Shut the hell up, you loser. I'm sure you're just trying to act tough right now is all. Which is pretty sad of you considering you just heard that your husband was cheating on you for a year now. I am not going to let you have a fun time with me now that you're supposed to be the loser here. I'm going to make you pay for this one now, you asshole.
Long time since we last talked, Brooklyn. I have something I've been wanting to ask you, actually. Do you have a moment to talk with me right now?
Oh, hey, Clifford. Been a while, hasn't it? I think the last time we actually were talking to one another was last year, right?
It's been a long time, it seems, right? But I guess that was just a little over a year ago now, back when we had the memorial for my brother. I can't believe it's been 3 years since he passed away now.
Right. Time has really flown by on us, hasn't it? So anyway, what was it you wanted to talk about?
Actually, I was wondering if there's any money left over from my brother still. I think there is, and I wanted to know if you'd be all right with giving us half of that money.
What?
It's been 3 years now since he passed away, right? But you have still not gone out and found a job for yourself. That has to mean he left behind enough money to support you for 3 years, and that there must be a bunch more remaining, right? Considering he was my older brother, I'm sure he put in a lot of money making sure he had the best life insurance on himself, right?
Why exactly do you want half of the money he left behind for me? Are you in a bit of financial trouble or something?
That's right. Right now I'm in a very serious pickle when it comes to money. There are 3 kids now in my family, right? As they continue to grow older and older, they require for me to have more money. And that's led to our family finances being pretty rough. Considering the current recession we're going through, both my wife's and my income has gone down as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which is why I kinda wanted to ask if you could help us out a little. Before my brother went and passed away in that car accident, he was always spoiling my kids. If you were to give us some of that money for his cute little nieces and nephews, I'm sure he'd be okay with it. If anything, he probably wants you using some of that money on them.
I'm sure. I mean, him and I never got around to having any kids of our own either. Because of that, he was always spoiling your 3 kids.
So, from now on, how about you send us $3,000 a month? I would hate to have you give us half of whatever you have left from him in one go, so if you could start sending us little by little every month, that would be great.
Hold on a second. You need $3,000 a month from me?
I'm sure you don't know about this, but kids take up a lot of the family finances. You're not struggling at all right now and have all that money from my brother, so why not, right?
I understand that I have some money left from him, but it's not as much as you think. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm going to be able to help you out much.
What did you say?
The money he left me after that accident was something very important to me. And so I've planned to use it sparingly over the next decade or so. Another thing about me is I'm actually working from home right now. So I was never living without a job playing with his money all the time like you might have thought.
Are you kidding me? I was sure you still had around $500,000 or so from him. But you know what? If you're working right now, then you don't need his money at all, right? You should actually be giving me all of it, please.
What?
You should be more than capable of handling yourself with your own income, right? That means you have no reason to hang on to all of his money anymore. Don't you think you should be giving it to those in need?
Not at all. Why would you ever say something like that about what he's left me?
Am I really being that mean? Actually, I'm saying this partially for your sake as well.
What does that mean?
Well, as long as you hang on to his money, you're never gonna forget about him, right? You're still young, Brooklyn, so you need to move on and find yourself a new man. So in order to get you to do that, we can take that money from my brother off of you and use it up.
Stop saying things like that. I don't plan to ever get remarried, Clifford. I want to hang on to his memory he left for me and think about him for the rest of my life. I'm sorry, but you need to stop asking for it now.
What?
If you really need some help with your financial situation, I have a good friend that could give you some assistance there. Would you like me to get you guys in touch so that you can talk about how to fix the slump you're in?
I don't need to go through something as irritating as that. What the hell? I came here asking all politely and everything. You can't just keep all of his money to yourself like that.
How's it going? I'm sure that picture I sent to you just there has shocked your socks off, right?
I can't believe you'd send someone a picture of you on top of someone's husband having sex like this. This is the kind of picture that someone could use to get a very heavy settlement from you, all right? I can't believe you'd really do that to yourself.
If I knew it would be enough to allow you to get a settlement from me, I wouldn't have taken your husband in the first place. I just want to see what your face looks like as you're freaking out is all.
There's no reason for you to be wanting to see something like that from me, though.
You're really annoying when you try and act all level-headed like that, you know. That's why I said before that I was going to make you suffer one way or another. I bet that this time I've gotten on your nerve for sure, right? Seeing that husband that you've loved for so long letting me take him for a spin. I bet you're never going to be able to see him the same way again, right?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Huh?
Actually, I've been taking a really good look at this picture of you two. I never thought I'd see a man look so displeased with having a woman doing cowgirl on him. And for some reason, you're also looking like you're not enjoying it.
Huh? Stop trying to act like a tough guy here. Just suck it up and tell me right now how much it hurts to see your husband doing another woman. Start crying your eyes out right now and tell me how much it kills to see a picture of us two together.
I'm not acting like a tough guy, though. If anything, I'm feeling even more fed up with you as a person. It really makes me worry for mankind when there are people like you who don't care about the risk anymore and only want to see others hurt.
Excuse me?
Are you aware that if I held that picture as evidence and where to get a settlement from you, it could be for as much as $100,000? Did you really prepare for something like a settlement, all just to watch me cry a little? Actually, are seeing my tears and hearing me cry worth $100,000 to you? If that's how much my tears go for, I'm happy to hear that. I will try my best to start shedding some tears here, so let's start with $5,000 a tear, alright?
How dare you try and use this as a way to make money? Do you really call yourself his wife by doing that? What makes you think you can just sit there and take all of this when the woman your husband has been cheating on you with is actively making fun of you? I want you to start crying and begging me to stop right now.
You see, the thing is, my husband has been dead for 3 years now.
What?
So you can ask me to cry all you want, but I'm not going to be crying because I'm hurt. I'll be crying to make some of that sweat money you're going to give. And by the way, the man in that picture isn't my husband, so I'm really not sure what I should be getting upset about here.
Oh, what? Are you not Clifford's wife? But when he looked at his phone, he had you there, and behind your name in parentheses was the word wife.
So that's how Clifford has my name put down in his phone. Well, I happen to be his sister-in-law. In other words, I'm his older brother's wife.
What?
So, just to be sure, I'll say this one more time. I'm not his wife. You have had the wrong person this whole time, like I'd said at the start.
What?
But now, you have me thinking about how he's been cheating on his wife this whole time. I never thought the day would come where I'm seeing my brother-in-law completely naked having sex with a stranger. Now it's going to be a lot harder for me to look at him as family. I don't think the image of his small penis is ever going to be leaving my head.
You're joking. Why did I make this mistake? I assumed that you were his wife this whole time.
Hey, don't worry, alright? I promise to go ahead and tell his wife next for you.
What?
I wouldn't want you to have to go through that whole performance you've done with me again. So I'll let her know that you've been with her husband and show her this very interesting picture as well. I'll make sure to tell her who you are as well. And I'll introduce her to a really good lawyer that I know as well for you.
Huh? Wait a second, please. Why would you be showing her to a lawyer, you know? Don't do anything unnecessary right now.
Did you know that Clifford's wife is a really close friend of mine? When my husband passed away, she was the one who stood closest to me, making sure everything was fine in my life. And that is why I'm not going to let you off the hook here. If you're going to go through all of that in order to make Clifford's wife feel bad, then at least be prepared for all the outcomes as well.
No way.
And now that you've got me involved in all of this due to your own mistakes, you're going to have to pay for that. Anywho, thank you for all this wonderful evidence.
Why did you tell my wife about me cheating on her? You could have just let that all go. How dare you do something so needless to me?
You were the one doing something so needless though, right? And you have a wonderful wife with you who went and gave you 3 beautiful children. Yet you still went and cheated on her and your family.
Shut the hell up already! I was just cheating on her to have some fun! I never did it in order to ruin the family I had back at home.
But then, why was your girlfriend trying so very hard to destroy the family you say you love for you? I get that she mistook me for your wife, but she came at me wanting to create chaos.
I didn't think she was gonna be such a pain in the ass for me down the road! God damn it! Why did things have to come to this? My wife is wanting to divorce me now, and she's gonna take all 3 of my kids away!
That's what happens when you play stupid games. And it was you making her have to take care of all 3 of them by herself anyway, since you wanted to spend more time with your girlfriend.
Please help me out here! If you let your brother-in-law and his wife get a divorce, I'm sure that my brother up in heaven would be devastated, right? Can you please go and set my wife straight for me?
I'm sorry, but I already told her to get the divorce as quickly as possible.
Are you freaking kidding me? It's all because you went and opened your mouth to my wife that this is happening. Your 3 nephews that your husband spoiled are all going to lose their father now. Do you think it's okay to let that happen? If you're really my brother's wife, then you help me! You freaking help me! You help your husband's cherished little brother get out of this mess!
No. My husband cherished you so much, and that is why I won't allow his name to be associated with what you've become any longer. I'm sure if he was still around now, he would be in tears, learning about how his little brother became this thoughtless, cheating heathen. So I'm going to do what he would do, and make sure you take absolute responsibility for what you've done. I don't want you to become someone who will put shame on my husband's name.
No way!
Make sure you pay that settlement and child support to your wife, alright? That's all you're able to do now.
Shut your goddamn mouth, bitch! I'm being asked to pay a settlement of close to $50,000 right now, and then I'll have to pay child support for 3 kids? That's around $1,000 each every month! If this has to happen to me, then you're gonna pay for it all with the money my brother left behind!
You sure?
This all happened because you opened your damn mouth, right? That means this is all your fault!
Not true at all. The one who's to blame for that is your retarded girlfriend who couldn't keep her mouth shut about your relationship. And if you want to know who was to blame for all of this in the first place, that would be you. The one who went and cheated on his wife and 3 kids. So screw off with that attitude towards me right now. I'm done here. If you even dare come back to me with more of your crap, I'm going to make you pay me a settlement as well.
This couldn't get any worse for me. Clifford doesn't even have a penny to his name right now. I was fooled by that asshole. I thought that Clifford would be a lot better than this. He was always taking me to those really expensive restaurants and dates and everything. And whenever it was a special event, he'd gift me with such fancy presents. He told me himself that he had enough money to take care of me with. But now he's telling me he has nothing in his savings and that I need to pay for a settlement to his wife as well. He's trying to make me pay for everything.
Really? He's not even able to pay that settlement?
He told me that all of his money is having to go to his wife in the divorce, thanks to his 3 kids he never told me about either. Which means he doesn't have any money to pay the settlement now. Which doesn't even make sense when I told him I had all this debt, which he said he'd be able to pay off for me.
You're in debt? Then that would mean he wanted that money I received from his brother to help you pay that all off.
Wait, what?
A little while back, he came to me begging me for the money my deceased husband left me with. He told me that his finances back home were not great and asked me to support him. But then I went and spoke with his wife about it. She said they were totally fine financially and that he was just trying to scam me. They are both working anyway, and his wife is pulling in over $100,000 a year.
What? His wife is making that kind of money each year.
Which is why she said they didn't need the help. I'm sure now that Clifford just wanted it to help with your debt and pay for more dates. And based on the current recession, his income has taken a bit of a hit, but not his wife's income.
No freaking way. His income is in trouble now too?
Yeah, that's what his wife told me. She gave him some advice to change jobs and such, but he just kept fighting her over it, thinking that she had no place to talk down to him about his job, even though she wasn't. Which is really sad to think about now, because during that time, he probably was always yelling back at her because he was cheating.
No way! I really thought that he was working for this super large company making a lot of money there. He always told me he was making a lot every month and that he had hundreds of thousands in his savings. That's why I was serious about stealing him from his wife and didn't mind things like a settlement and such.
Well, to him, he was just into you for the fun of it.
No, I can't believe the man that told me he had so much money and loved me was lying. And to think he wanted to use his dead brother's money to cheat. He really is a pile of crap. Even someone like myself is shocked to hear that now.
But hey, can you make sure not to throw him away now? To me, I think you both are meant for one another, belonging to the same dump and all. You would make for a great couple.
Huh?
So now that you've had this little chat, good luck with your boyfriend. Please make sure to support one another and to both take responsibility for all the trouble you've both caused. Now that will be all from me. Goodbye. In the end, both Clifford and Angela were asked to pay off their settlements in one lump payment, which they did. Thanks to the help of Angela's parents who lended her the money, they no longer had to worry about the settlements themselves. But her parents told Clifford that in return he was to marry their daughter, and both of their horrible selves would have to work together to pay them back. And just like that, they were both forced to get married to one another by her parents the very next day. And as of right now, they are both working on paying all of that money they borrowed back to Angela's parents, while giving the rest to Clifford's ex-wife for their children. As for his ex-wife, she happened to always be really close with his parents. And so after the divorce, she would move in with them, bringing along her 3 kids. Both of the in-laws have been doing what they can to help out with her and their 3 grandkids, while also letting her continue to work. And as for myself, living close to them, I'm always able to head to their house anytime to meet with those 3 nephews of mine, who really do remind me of my husband. As a widowed woman, I really am thankful for all the support my late husband's parents and my sister-in-law have given me.